The following video is part one of the engine teardown of the 1985 metallic gray Corvette. Basically, we found out through testing that it had a blown head gasket. I'm going to tell you up front, this is the long version of the video. There are parts of the video that are going to seem absolutely boring to some of you, but it usually points out a specific item that the average person who's never done this before is going to need to know. So I apologize to those people that already know how to do this. Like I stated in a forum that I'm a member of, this is going to be the second head gasket replacement that I've done in my life. The first one was 30 years ago. So, that being said, enjoy. And don't forget to smash that like button. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Thank you.
Alright, I'm just getting a good shot at where things are. Goes into that. Getting ready for the top of the motor tear down. I gotta spray those nuts down there and everything.
So I've taken off the mass airflow sensor and I've removed the top radiator hose. The connector to the mass airflow sensor plugs into the bottom of it right here, and I just unscrewed this and just slid it off after disconnecting it from the front air intake. And now I'm going to set it aside and mark that mass airflow sensor. This gives us access to the water return line from the throttle body. The in return line, or the feed line right here that goes into the throttle body, has already been disconnected. Goes down there. So it gives us access to that to take that off. Throttle body. Well, looks like we're going to have to kind of work our way to that. I don't want to break anything. Anything I break, I got to replace. This is the throttle position sensor. And we're going to take that off and label this connector. This right here is the line that goes to this PVC. It comes out of this PVC, goes into this elbow, goes into a rail or a tube, and comes up right here. We're going to remove the serpentine belt.
get that taken care of. And I need a little extension on my ratchet here so I can do this. Alright. Next thing is we're going to take off the air pump bracket, the alternator, and its connections to the rest of the car, along with this air hose right here. So I'm going to start here, get this guy out of the way. There we go, that's off. So this is 10 millimeter on these. There we go. Go. And then we can take these out. And these will go right back onto the air pump when we have it out. So this is a 10 millimeter here. 10 millimeter here. And I put the anti-seize on them. Those right back in there. So I don't lose them. Now we need that, this one down here, the extension. So this one's in there kind of tight. So what we got here? And 10 millimeter on the back. And we move some hoses and wires aside. Oh, and by the way, I've disconnected the battery. That. And those nuts came out of here. They go into the back of the air pump. This one comes out, and this should come out. We should be able to just put that in like that. Take our two nuts we took off the back of the air pump, screw them in right here, back in here. Our air pump, put its pulley back on. I'm just going to put it on loosely because it's just going right into the storage bin so that we know how this all went back together. And that right there won't come out. Now for the electrical connectors on the alternator. We have one right here. And I'm going to label that. Come on. And then we have another one in the back of the alternator. I'm just gonna lift you up. Right here. Is the alternator, the back of the alternator. And I believe that's also a 10 millimeter. So we're just going to loosen that. Okay, put that right back on there. And we're going to label that wire. Push that back, that loop back in there. And let's see where this goes. This goes down there. So we're just going to lay that right there for now. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the alternator off. And then we're going to have a better look at everything that's going on around the engine. And I believe that's also... No, it's not that one. Put that in there like that, and you know what, we're going to tape that on. Well, actually, right through there, like so. Now we have the alternator out. I have the bolt right back here. I left the air pump bracket still on the alternator right here, and we're going to put that in storage. Now we see this vacuum hose that plugs into that. This vacuum hose, it goes across to the other side and joins right here. Joins right there to a tube that goes to the other side, and this one connects to this tube down here. I don't know if you can see that down there. Okay. And now I'm going to disconnect this one. So we're making headway here. The next thing is making the throttle items apart. We got the clip on this side, the clip on this side, and we'll get those apart. Notice I'm taking pictures as well as video. So that I can put this stuff back together. That one off, right back on. I'll take this one off. Put it right back on. And this one is supposed to come forward and slide off like that. So now we have these out of the way. And we can then take them off the side of the plenum. And that is, looks like that is also a 10 millimeter. And it is. One up here at the top, and one down here on the bottom. So far we've used 10 millimeter and 13 millimeter to take everything apart so far. Well, we have something here that we have to take apart. The kick down. And how does that come apart? We gotta look at that. There we go. That comes out. Good. Let's just take the rest of it apart. If you notice as I'm doing this, I'm putting screws. Oh, there's one right there. So look at that. I'm putting screws, nuts, and labeling. So if you plan on doing this, I would do the same thing. And that one's different from the others. So we're going to keep that in mind. Oh, fuck. Well, that's what I didn't want to do, which was drop something in there. So I can't find my magnet, so I'm just gonna reach in here with these. That one goes here. That one goes here. This one goes here. this one goes back here. They are all different lengths, all three of them. So it's good to put them back where they came from. All right, so that's done. That'll come out when we pull off the plenum body. This is our throttle and our cruise control over here. Throttle and our come on. And our cruise control over here. It's those two. So we're going to try and get these slid off to the side and down so that they're out of the way. Alright. Getting clearer. Now I'm going to switch over and start taking some of these items off and take this bracket off. So I'm going to take this bracket off. There's 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3, and it is 14 millimeter on all of them. So let's see how these come out. Let's get them loose. All right. Get those out of there. So far I've used a 10, a 13, and a 14, and it's a nut. I'm going to put that right there for now. And this one is a bolt. That one right there. And this one right here. Looks like someone put Loctite, not Loctite, but anti-seize on it. And this bolt looks like it also holds on the water pump as well. Because there's the water pump. This goes over that, and there is anti-seize on them. But I'm going to put this bolt back in here, so I know where that goes. That bolt I'm going to leave there. And this nut I'm going to put back on here, like so. And I'm going to put this in storage. Alright. So now we're getting down to the power steering pump, I believe, down here. And that has, let me get some more light in here. There we go. Oh boy, everything just went ooh when I pulled on that power. Oh boy, that's hot too. So, looks like power steering pump has this nut and this bolt. Yeah, that goes into the head. This bolt goes into the head. It's underneath this tube right here. Now we're going to be, after we take apart these items over here, after we get to these items over here, I'll be taking this off and going from there. So, we know that one's out. And I'm going to try not to have to disconnect this, so I'm going to pull it off and try and put it over here. But we're going to see how well that works out. So we need another 14-inch 14 millimeter deep socket to get to that guy, and this should come out. Oh wow, it's different. It's a different size nut. It might be standard. Huh. That. Let's see what a 9/16. Yep, 9/16. Wow. So it went from metric on these in the nut to standard for the bracket. And we're going to need an extension to go from there. And yes, that lamp is hot when I hit it. Stud is coming out. Oh, looks like there's another nut holding this thing on somewhere. We gotta find that. So I don't lose that. I'm gonna put that right back on here. So where else is this being held in place? So we got the nut down there without pulling the pulley. Oh, yep. All these bolts in their holes so we know where they came from when we go to put it all back together. So that's below the head on this side, on the block. All right, good. So I'm down to the point where there's nothing attached to the head on this side except for the exhaust, manifold, and spark plugs. So I'm gonna take a little break, be right back. All right, it's kind of unclear what this one and this one are. I'm gonna make this the air control divert solenoid. I'm gonna make this the air switching catalytic converter solenoid. So I'm gonna make this one the air control divert solenoid, and this one the air switching catalytic converter solenoid. I'm going to try and get both of these off. I'm going to label their electrical connections so I plug them back in into the right places. I'm also looking at this tube right here. It goes back underneath the plenum and I don't see where it connects to. This tube right here, right there, connects back here underneath some stuff. So it goes underneath the plenum and goes all the way back towards the distributor. So this one right here goes all the way back towards the distributor. I don't want to break it. All right. So this connects there, and it connects up here, right here. So we're gonna try and get this off. Let's try this. Ever so slowly, each side. There we go. There we go. So, let's mark them. Put that one here. And then this one. It connects to the air switching. So now we're going to label these. So this is the air control solenoid. And this is the air switching solenoid. And we're going to see if we can get this off with that bolt, that screw, and undo this hole so I can get this off and out of the way. And that is a what? That is a 10 millimeter. So let's get these disconnected. What holes you on? that off, and then we'll get that. There. There's that. There's a hose back here too, behind this bracket, right there. So I'm going to turn it a little. There we go. It's loose enough. Maybe we can come up like this. Go. Now we just have this one. And this one is held on down here by a wire tie, a zip tie. We're going to cut that zip tie and pull it off with that hose. So we're going to undo the zip tie and pull this off with this hose still attached. Get a nice bite in there. Maybe not. There we go. So there's that piece. Like I said, there's that hose. Goes to that one. This hose goes to that hose right there. This one goes to that hose right there. And this connects down here behind the air compressor. Not the air compressor, the AC pump. This right here connects to the side of the upper port on the throttle body. This one down here is the heater hose or the coolant hose right here. It goes on there. So we're going to put this in our storage bucket to keep it safe. And then we'll come back and look at this. So this bracket right here that this is attached to connects down here. Whoop, connects down here just on the back side of this hose. Right down in there. So if we can bring it out. I don't know if you can see that, but it connects right down there to that silver chrome bolt. There's a 14. And since I want this way up here, I'm gonna do this. And there's a hose underneath it. That we're gonna try it. Yep, it slides right out of. And there we go. And there's that bolt right there. That we're gonna take and we're gonna put back in there. Right now, that's where I want it to be. All right, so we're gonna put this aside. And I'm gonna label this one. Okay. And so the bottom of this hose connects to that hose right there. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to point it out. We might need some more light here. But I'm gonna label this right here. This is the air diverter solenoid. And it goes on like this. Where can I put this where it will stay on this? Okay, we have this little bolt that goes back in here. Back into this bracket that holds this on. And since I did label this piece that we took off that was right here, I'm going to label it now. It goes like that. Alright, so this right here we're going to take off. This is the return line from the throttle body to the intake manifold for the coolant that flows through the throttle body. So we're going to get that off. And I definitely need more light in here. You can hear the fan when that light turns on. Go way down. See, it's got a split in it right there. Gotta be careful I don't break it. Come on. You're not undone enough? Pretty tight. Like I said, this is the coolant return line from the throttle body to the intake manifold. It looks like right there. Throttle body to intake manifold. Alright, so now we have access to the idle air controller. We have access to get the compressor out for the AC. I'm trying to see behind it. We got some hoses and metal tubes behind, like this one that's attached right there. And that goes down to here. And we can take that off when this is out of the way. We have that. So let's get this one disconnected and labeled. This is the idle air controller. So let's get a label on that. Idle. So that was the idle air controller, plugs in right there. That's that one. So tomorrow we're going to do the throttle body, the plenum down tubes, the distributor cover, distributor and spark plug wires. We'll get those out. And then we'll start working on the fuel rail after that.
Thank you for watching part one of the engine teardown for the 1985 metallic gray Corvette. We're getting further down into the engine to get to that head gasket to replace it. It did blow a head gasket. You can see other videos that show that we tested that out and confirmed it, along with other snippets of video that we've seen so far in part one and in the update video that I released the other day. Smash that like button. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Thank you for watching the video and have a great day.